Another nice feature with myBrainShark is that you can actually add in a little question. You've got a limited number of question types, so you can have this as perhaps feedback after the podcast if you want to know what people think of it. Obviously people can actually leave comments anyway here, so you can add comments at the bottom of the podcast. But if we just click here, we can add a question. So I'm just going to click on it, and we've got a couple of options in terms of question types that we can add. We can do a poll or we can do a survey. I'm just going to do a simple poll, and the question that I'm going to ask is, did you find the podcast useful? And we'll just have 3 levels, so say yes, no, not sure, for example. And so I'm just going to put a question mark in there. So I've just simply created, now we've got to think a few formats as well, sort of true or false or multiple choice. I'm going to leave it as multiple choice because I'm offering 3 answers here, and then we can save that. There are some features that you can only have if you want to. So this has now been added to the podcast. I think you'll find that it comes at the end of the podcast. Let's have take a quick look as we come to the end of the podcast and see if we just play that podcast through. It's very, very quick anyway. It's just a few seconds. So I'm just going to play the podcast through. Obviously you can't hear this because I've got my headphones on, but I can hear it. So it plays the podcast, and then this question comes up on the screen. I can choose an answer and then submit that, and then presumably that will be then actually added onto the screen, and I can come in and see the feedback from the students, and it will actually appear at the end of the video, the question there. So that's a simple way of adding in a question. Now there are many more features. I want to keep it very, very simple. If we click back to my content now, you'll see that the podcast that we've created has been added to the site, podcasting on podcasting, and as people view your podcast, either because you send it as an email or you've embedded it onto different websites, then the number of views will increase. Remember what I said though, you must activate your podcast before you can share it easily.